All right, man, let's see what I can do. All right, this is what we got here. We got the tanks installed inside of them. And as you can see, where I cut, to the best of my abilities, equal on both tanks. And that's gonna be the front, that's gonna be the door. I'm not sure yet how I'm doing anything, but I plan to use some wood and frame in the door and actually have a swinging door with hinges and a latch on there. So I really think next is to get the Sawzall and go ahead and cut off the front of each one of those where the entrance is going to be, and then also open up and cut the top of them as well. So there it is. I tell you, man, the Sawzall just works so. It got the job done. You guys saw it, but you know, I'm gonna clean it up here a little bit, one little spot or two. I'll try to hit it with the scissors, but let me go charge up a couple more batteries, because using this Sawzall on this is draining the batteries quick. I'll be back. All right, I surely don't know, but I'm gonna start at the hole, that top hole, and cut down here. We're freestyling it, baby. We're gonna see. All right, I think I need to change my blade to, that's a metal blade and it's just not cutting too well, so I'm gonna put the wood one on. It'll probably be a little bit more rough and jagged of a cut, but let's see what it do. All right, here it is. Both of them opened up. I'm not sure how the cutting, I left the lip around the top because I'm thinking I'm gonna have to screw these together, or I'm not exactly sure. I don't know a darn thing, but I'm not sure how the cutting is going to impact it going together. Like that bottom one, there's a little lip, but this one down here with the Sawzall, there's not much lip at the bottom. So what I'm thinking is that the one off to the right, this one right here, will probably be the bottom, will probably be the base, the bottom, since I do have that little lip down. Can I zoom in? Since I do have that little lip at the bottom to keep a little water in, or I don't know. So I'm thinking that'll be at the bottom, and then this one will go on the top. But they're both opened up, and now I'm gonna figure out how to get this one on top of that one. Here we go. All right, this is what we got going on. I use this ratchet strap here, and I kind of tied these two together with the idea that with the middle connected, I'll be able to lift this one up on this end and flip it over onto this one. Mind you, I don't have no plan, but I do pride myself on being an unlicensed engineer. There's not too many things I can't figure out and I can't do, with some trial and error. And so we're gonna try this out. We're gonna see what happens. You know, I've never done anything like this before, so I don't know. I might not be able to lift this thing up. It might be hilarious. It might work perfectly, or shit, who knows, man. It might be a viral video, baby, but let's see. How about that? How about that? How about that? Whew. Here we go. This is what it's looking like. Man, it's not on here flat. I knew I was gonna have this larger gap in the back. But man, let me see what I can do. Let me get it straightened out and see. Taller than ever. This is nice, man. All right, so I kind of got it lined up the way that I think that it needs to be, at least temporarily. So I'm going to take a couple ratchet straps and kind of connect it and ratchet it into place until I go to Ace Hardware and I can get some self-tapping screws and I can kind of anchor it together. And also, the aluminum framing, they're bent, so they're not even, so they don't sit on top of each other the way that I wish that they did. But maybe with using these ratchet straps, we can kind of manipulate and bend them and get them into a little bit better shape. But for the time being, they're staying. Back from Ace Hardware, bought a variety of screws and bolts and some of these pipe clamps over here. So I just bought a variety of things that I'm going to use to really just secure this together. This metal frame, the top one and the bottom one are two different sizes, and on this side just like this side, this bottom one is bent in quite bad, so I have to do some modifications and some things. As you see that this is bent in, so I'm not going to be able to put a bolt through these two, but I hope to use this pipe clamp or whatever this is, which is on here very loosely, to suck this in some. But yeah, so that's just what's going on so far. And I bought some self-tapping screws that I'm gonna put all along here to make sure that the plastic is right into the frame, really solid. Plan on using some of these self-drilling screws, these right here, and that just means that it drills itself, so I can go through the plastic and into the metal. Works great. And I'm gonna fasten the plastic onto these bars a little bit. Already started some yesterday, but I'm gonna finish this off just so it's nice and sturdy. And here we go. So I'm just gonna run a couple of these screws in here, because it's going to be off grid and I need it to be nice and sturdy. So here we go. Let's see one of these holes I already did. That quick, and it fastens the plastic, the IBC tote, directly to the outside bars. So just making it nice and sturdy on there. That easy. So I'm gonna go around and fasten this whole thing on here, just so there's a little less wobble. But yeah, that's what we're looking like. Also, as you can see, I cut this because there was a gap about this big. If you look earlier in the video, I cut this and used the dryer to fold this up and tuck this one down underneath it here. So it's not that pretty, but I did buy a heat gun and I'm gonna heat this up with the plan. Go back some. With the plan that I hope to heat this up enough to be able to get it to touch this so it kind of just molds together. Even like here too on the side, I hope to melt this stuff together and make a good solid seal all the way around. So we'll see how it goes. All right, so I'm just going to heat this up. I'm just heating this up with the idea that I'll be able to mash this, hopefully. I'm hoping. I don't know how well it's going to work, but we're going to try it out. Out here in the dark, working on this shit, having a hard time. One line before 33. Whatever measurement that is. That's how we build around here. One line before 33. There it is. It's gonna be the exact fit. All right, here we are. It's been a few days later. This is what I got going on. Actually had it laid down horizontal for quite a while. It made it easier for me to work on, but I got the tote drilled or screwed into the aluminum frame. So that's pretty secure on there. That thing ain't going nowhere. Right here, it's hard to see, but this was a large gap where the two totes came together and it was curled up. So I heated it up with I heated up with the heat gun, and then I was able to bend this up quite a bit and put a couple screws on it. So it's not the prettiest, but it no longer has that gap. So that's real nice, much more sealed up. And then over here on this side, this bottom tote, because there are two totes, 1, 2, this bottom tote, this lip stuck out a good 2 or 3 inches, if not more, all the way around here. So I trimmed this so it's a little bit more smooth and flat. So that's what we got here. Then I also put the frame on, as well as the door frame. So that's what we're looking like. And then the door frame, 2 hinges. It's kind of hard to see holding this and trying to record, but yep. sandpaper or something. Let's go from there. Cabin shower build update. All right, got this door put on here. I originally looked at Home Depot multiple things to cover this door with, including slats, roofing, a variety of things, but I already spent enough money on this build here, buying the wrong screws and the wrong hardware, and you know, a lot of stuff that I'm not even going to use extra wood because I was freestyling this. I didn't have any plan, so I decided to go with this thin plywood here, very thin, and I took the leftover pieces to put over the seams to add a little bit of durability and a little bit of strength to it. So really good. 2 hinges on the side. And I know about the shower tents that we've used historically is that it needs to be sealed up really nice to keep the steam in, obviously. So I use some spray foam, as you can see, to foam that whole gap. And the foam right here, because there's a hole here where the totes came together. So I use some foam to seal that up real nicely. It doesn't look the prettiest, but I'm thinking about maybe cutting it back some, but that's all good. It's gonna be out at the property. This thing is solid, sprayed up, very durable. I have a latch here. I'm gonna, I got a door handle here and also got a latch for the inside and outside, but I'm not ready yet. And then I briefly painted the inside of here. I used some ceiling paint, just some leftover paint that I had at the inside the house, and also hit it with a couple cans of spray paint just to, you know, just to jazz it up a little bit so it's nice and white. It's not the best paint because that ceiling paint's not the paint for it, but if you look at the previous pictures or videos, this bottom one was yellow and it was kind of stained, but this looks absolutely much better. And as you can see, all that is spray foam, so sealed up really nice. In addition to, I drilled a few holes down here in the bottom just to help out with drainage. This is the inside of the door, and I actually sprayed the inside of the door with a can of clear coat just because that's non-treated wood, so to give it a little extra protection, as well as the door jamb, because it's not treated wood, and I'm really not worried about it too much. It's not like I'm gonna have full running water in here, and we're only gonna be using this from time to time, and I don't really anticipate the door getting soaking and sopping wet. But I did buy another can of clear coat that I'm gonna spray on there just for a little bit of protection. But thus far, this is the shower build, baby. I just bought this cheap little handle here, small little handle, and we're just gonna put it on, finishing touches. I probably don't even need this drill like this to be real, but see, let's just put it right here. A long time coming. First shower I ever made like this. Pretty happy with the way that it turned out. I think it's gonna work great. Proud of all the effort and work and trial and tribulations. But here we are. And this handle, as you can see, is drilled right into, I think this is a 1x3. So this thing ain't going nowhere. Handle, bam. Lastly, I just want to show my thinking on my latches. I decided to use this kind of latch as a way to lock the inside and the outside. And the why is I probably could have figured out some kind of pull system where I could have pulled it, or a handle from the inside in and unlocked it or something like that. I'm not sure, but I'm sure that I could have figured it out. But what I was fearful of is most of the time when I go to my property, there's at least two of us. But if there's ever a time that I was by myself or someone was by themselves, I was fearful that if you're inside here and you're showering and somehow the lock fails and maybe the screw gets loose or whatever happens and the lock fails and you can't unlock this, it might be a life, it's not funny, it'd be a life or death situation inside here. You would have to break out through here because this is aluminum and this would be a jail cell, and I think it was safer to put something like this. So let's just crank it in without too much hassle. Shit. Easier than I thought. Let's measure it. I want it to be tight. You know what, let me try something. Let me just try something. Let me just try something. Hit it a little bit more. Let's see. So we're gonna have to bend this a little bit, damn it. Damn it, but it shouldn't be a big deal. There it is. There it is. Look on the side for me. I just want to point out the way that it's sealed. I ain't no door builder, gem expert. On the side. See how it closes up pretty darn nice. Little bit of gap at the bottom, but shoot, man, I tell you, this being my first anything like this, push it a tad bit, come up, locks just fine. You know what, that turned out to be a damn good lock actually. There it is. And then I'll put one on the inside, and then I think that's gonna be done. All right, back at it again. Coming here to build the floor stand. I just did the measuring. Just got off work, came home. Gonna see if I can knock out this stand quick. Here we go, put this thing together. All right, here, this is what we got going on so far. Just dry fitting. Obviously I have this drain down here. So this these two middle pieces, or these couple middle pieces, will be shorter. So I'm gonna make that measurement. I just got them sitting in there right now before I screw them all together. And I'm thinking I'm gonna put a middle 2x4 in the middle to give it some extra support. But yeah, but I'm freestyling this thing. I'm telling you, man, I ain't really no builder. I ain't no expert. I can't even run this circular saw that good, but hey, man, it's coming out. And I'll show you what I'm doing. All right, here we go. This is what we got. We're at the final stages of the shower build. But this thing's been sanded down, and I have this polyurethane oil-based spray that I've already done one coat on here, and we're gonna hit it with a little coat. This is the last coating of this. It should be waterproof, or at least water resistant, and I'm gonna use the rest of it to spray on the door. This polyurethane, I like. Look, man, it really brings the color out in the wood, man. It makes it really nice. And this is the second coat, so when it dries, it should have a nice kind of golden color, a nice shine, a nice sheen to it. That's really nice. This is untreated wood, so let's hit the ends of it. Stuff is expensive. I don't want to use it all because I want to spray my door. But we'll hit it one more time. There we go.
Looking at the inside of the shower from back here, with it being white, and you can, the metal, you know, cages on the other side, it makes it look like from a distance that those are shower tiles in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the look it has.
Hell yeah.
Looks like white shower tiles in there.
little bit of trim work. Like I said, I never did anything like this before. This is far from a clean, smooth, professional project, but just to put some trim around the sides to cover up all the spray foam. I did a ton of spray foam to cover up some of these gaps, all with the purpose of really trying to keep in the steam. Like in my other videos, I said we've used shower tents for years, and the shower tents lock in all that steam. And even in the middle of a blizzard that I was in one time out in the mountains, and we had a foot of snow, I was butt naked at nighttime, showering at nighttime. And if you have a shower tent and that steam stays in good, you can have a very nice, comfortable, warm shower. So the same principle at this, no tent, IBC totes, really trying to seal up all the cracks and crevices to keep in the steam. As well as putting the trim here to make it look a little more finished, a little bit more better. Even though I'm the only one and my family's the only one that's gonna see it, you know. Trying to do the best that I can do. All right, here we are, final video. December 25th, Christmas after dinner. Had an amazing day, nice day. This is the end of the shower build. This is the end of the shower build. It's finally done. Put this piece of trim on the side here to close that up nicely. Additional trim that I put along the side here, a little bit at the top along with the 2x4 to close in the gap, a little trim on the side as well, and on the bottom. Totally doesn't close up and finish it off like a professional, but I tell you, putting that trim made a hell of a difference. IBC Tote shower build. Here's a little handle that I built right here. I gotta use this to lock it. Did a lot of work to the best of my abilities to seal it up around the top and around the door frame, as you can see, with the whole purpose of keeping in the steam. So we're in here, it'll hold that steam really nice. I'm really happy with how well that door closed. This stand is very solid, sanded down, several coats of polyurethane on it. Got this little shelf right here. But yeah, man, it's gonna keep in the heat really nice, steam very well. I put this trim all along here to kind of, so you can't see the spray foam and just the frame as much. Give it a much more finished look. That piece right there. Yeah, man. IBC Tote, shower built. There you go. It's been a long process. It was fun. I learned a lot. I can make another one of these, and there's a few things I would do different. This thing is absolutely overbuilt, spray foamed, siliconed, very sturdy. So it's going to do us very well. I'm very happy with the way it turned out for the first time I've ever built anything like this. Very functional. Yeah. Thanks for watching.